You have to put your medical in your own hands. I mean, do your research. If they tell you you need this medicine, then do your research.
Patricia, how did you find carnivore?
Well, Dave, I think it all started when I reached like the late 40s, early 50s. I really never had a problem. Before that, I was very athletic. I'm the kind of person who never sits on the couch, and I like to do. I'm a doer, you know. And when I started reaching my 50s, I realized that my midsection was growing, and no matter what I did, I couldn't lose the weight. And I think the first thing I got into was fasting. I started fasting and I really liked it. I researched it. I loved the autophagy part of it. And I also tried plant based because, everybody thinks that's the way to go, which I, I did that probably for about a year and I hated every minute of it. I never lost any weight. I felt miserable. I felt bloated all the time. And then I counted macros, which that was horrible because it's so time consuming. And then I think that led me to find carnivore. And when I started reading about carnivore and how people felt so much better, I said, "Well, I'm gonna give this a try." And because I love meat, and um, I went in. I mean, I'm the type of person I just dove in, and I got rid of all. I mean, I'm not a big sweet eater, but I like chips. So when I would cook, I would have my little charcuterie board. I would be grazing, eating chips the entire time I was cooking beforehand. So I cut all of that out, and um, I was pretty fat adapted because of the fasting. So I could fast for, hours. But I really enjoyed the fact that I could eat now, you know. So it was the best of both worlds. I didn't have to count. I ate my eggs and bacon and the meat and all the carnivore stuff. And I went from a size 12 to a size 8. And I was like, yes, this is amazing. Like, I couldn't believe that I had lost that much weight and I was in a size 8. And I thought, oh, this is wonderful. This is my size. So, I mean, I went out and bought me some new jeans and all this stuff. Well, kept going. I kept eating the carnivore way. I've been in it now 3 years. Well, this is my third year, and I'm in a size 4 now. And it's just unbelievable. I mean, I'm going to be 60 years old in February. My psoriasis, oh, I mean, it's practically gone. I've had psoriasis my entire life. It is practically gone. I thought I was going to have a bladder suspension because when I would walk or just kind of jog a little bit, I had to stop because I was just losing that part of me that I couldn't control. No more. I mean, I run sprints and I don't have that problem. It's amazing. Um, let's see what else. So many things. I mean, skin tags don't have any more skin tags. Um, just the going to the bathroom. I mean, it's a lot less. I don't have that problem anymore. Um, I just feel like I'm 60, but I feel like I'm 25. I mean, it's amazing. I have so much energy. I mean, I had energy before, but I have a lot of energy now, and it's amazing. I mean, I love it. And I love to cook. I'm a Cajun. I have a big family. In here in the South, we like to cook, we like to visit, we like to dance, and now it's just so my life is just so much easier. I don't have to cook the sides, and I don't have to spend time at the grocery store. I mean, I whip in the grocery store. I go to the meat section, buy the meat, buy the bacon, buy the sausage, buy the roast, and then I go to the eggs, butter. I mean, it's incredible. I love it. And I love the carnivore community. I get ideas about recipes, and I just hope that older women in their, just middle-aged older women will not say, well, it's just my age, I'm just getting older, so this is going to happen to me. No, no, you can feel amazing. That's what I want. That's what I want women my age to realize, that you can feel amazing just by changing what you eat.
It's such a revelation once we realize that all that kind of normal living that we've done for 40, 50, 60 years can be completely corrected just by changing the way we eat, right?
It's amazing. Yes. And I work with some younger girls that are having like problems, with their feet and their back, and that's another thing. I had back pain all the time. And now it's gone. It's totally gone. But I tell you what, when I do mess up, or not mess up, but like I'll say, well, yeah, go ahead and bring me that little salad before I eat my steak. I mean, it causes me problems, and you realize after you eat this way, your body changes, and then you realize what you can eat and what you cannot eat, and what messes with you, and what makes you feel amazing. What I can say to people, like when you get started, um, just start eliminating things like Diet Coke. I mean, I never was a real big Diet Coke drinker, every now and then, but I totally eliminated all the drinks that weren't good for me. I do I when I started fasting, I would drink coffee, but I didn't like the coffee I was drinking. So I drink Purity now. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but it's called Purity, and it's mold free. It's so good. And so I will drink one glass of coffee. I'm not a big coffee drinker, but I'll fix one glass of black coffee, and I will put some butter in it, and a little bit of the chocolate caramel element electrolytes, and I'll blend that up, and then I'll just sip on that in the morning, because I don't eat um, till about noonish. You know, most of the time that's my routine. I don't eat until about noon, and when I'm at work, I try to walk as many times as I can. I'll work a little while, then I'll go outside, walk, come back, work, then I'll for lunch. Before I eat lunch, I will go and walk. I have a Apple Watch, and I try to make I try to get as many steps as I can. I just have that in the back of my mind. Okay, I have to get this many steps, and I'll just make sure that before I eat, I do some walking, and then
Do
after
you
I eat, I'll, I'll,
so
I'll do some more walking.
sorry to interrupt, but just interested, do you find that even though you're moving away from your desk more now, that you're actually more productive?
Yes, I try. I want to get the sun in my eyes in the morning, and I get to work at 6:30, and it's dark, so I'll wait till about 8, and then I'm busting out the doors, because I want that sun to get in my eyes. And then all throughout the day, as many times as I can, I'll get up from my desk, and just take a spin and then just come back and start working again. But it really does help. I think the walking really does help. And then on the weekends, I'll lift my weights and have a rebounder, and I'll walk Bella, my dog. And so it's just it's a different lifestyle from maybe what I grew. Well, I grew up eating rice and gravy and roast. A lot of Southern style cooking. And it was Whole Foods. I mean, we didn't. Well, I'm one of six kids, so we didn't go out a lot. We couldn't afford it, and we lived in a very small town. We didn't even have restaurants, to go to. But anyway, so you just have to. I like to cook, so that's another good thing. If you don't like to cook, I mean, you better learn because that if you go to a restaurant or if you rely on someone else, you don't know what they're putting in your food, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So, on that though, you mentioned that, family and friends, everyone's big on, the Southern cooking and stuff like that.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
how do you go now when you aren't cooking the sides and stuff? Do you get kind of funny looks from people? Like, what's going on with Patricia now?
Well, I have I've told my mom and dad um that what I'm doing, and I said, Think about it this way: what when you were young, what were you eating?" And they were like, "Yeah, you're right." I said, "I'm just eating the way we're supposed to eat." You know, you didn't eat out of a bag when you were little. You didn't have all that food, and they were like, "You're right." I mean, and so I'm trying to help them, but they're in their 80s and they are, you know, they think the doctors are God. So it's hard for them because we all grew up believing that what we were told is in fact true. And the research is not there for 90% of what we were taught. And I think, like I tell my mom and dad, you have to put your medical in your own hands. I mean, do your research. If they tell you you need this medicine, then do your research. I'm not on any medicine. I don't want to be on any medicine. I mean, I feel amazing. And it's all because of how I eat. And I tell my kids, I just want everyone to have the option. I wish when you go to see a doctor, let's say for blood pressure, you have high blood pressure. I wish they would say, okay, you can either take this medicine or you could change your diet. I mean, it'd be simple. And then everyone could make that decision for themselves. But it's amazing how many people don't even know. They don't even know about this. But it's getting there.
So I think I've heard a lot of doctors and I would say apologists for doctors say something like, well, the reason they don't do that is because they know that most people are not going to change their diet. And that's why they just offer the meds. But for me, that feels like a little bit of a cop out. That feels to me like the
Exactly.
best case scenario is the medical reps are saying to the doctors, no one never changes their diet, so just give
Hmm.
them these drugs.
Hmm.
And so the doctor is just blindly following that advice.
And I don't think that's fair. I think we should have the option. I think we should know about. We should have the knowledge, and then let us decide. You know. So
Yeah,
that's how I feel.
because and that's the thing, right? Because the way to make people feel helpless and the way to make people feel like, there's just nothing left in life basically is to
Mm-hmm.
eliminate options and say
Mm-hmm.
this is what you got to
This is
do.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like if someone's faced with the prospect of, well, medication is my only option for life now, that's a terrible place to be in, right?
Oh no. And they make money off of that. So I just, I feel sorry for all the people who are, depressed because they're overweight or just they have a medical issue. they need to know that carnivore is out there, and experiment on your own body and see if it will help you or not. I mean, there are so many people who have cured so many diseases and issues just by eating the proper human diet, as we call it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the way I kind of look at this thing with having like being fully informed and having knowing that you have options, I always look at this a little bit like when you're working a job.
Hmm.
If you know I've got the most up-to-date skills and I could get another job like that, I've got
Hmm.
options if I find myself on the job market or if I find I'm not comfortable working where I am anymore, I can go out and get another job pretty easily. When you've got
Hmm.
options like that, you feel confident about everything, you feel empowered, you feel as good as you could feel, right?
Yes.
And it's the same when you're in a situation where you're thinking about your health. Well, it's worse when you're thinking about your health. If you don't, if it's been closed off to like, well, you're just stuck. This is the way it's going to be. Your life's going to be.
I
It's
know.
just it makes people
It's
feel
sad.
helpless.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Another thing that I do on a regular basis is I listen to podcasts, like yours. I mean, I listen to you every day because it's motivating. It is so motivating to me. I tell my two daughters, you know, they're young, but still, I mean, I want them to have the option. I mean, I know they may not listen right now. Well, my oldest one is getting there, but I'm putting it in their ear anyway because I wish I would have known about this when I was 25. I mean, it would have just to have that in the back of my head just in case because when they do get older and they start having these menopausal issues and everything. Speaking of menopausal, I had hot flashes so bad. I used to carry a fan with me everywhere, like a little like a little fan. I'd go to a restaurant. Oh my goodness! All of a sudden, it would just cover me. The heat would just cover me, and I'd have to break out my little fan. Not anymore. It's amazing. So I am going to I mean, I probably talk about it too much. I don't care. I mean, if someone wants to talk to me about it, which they do, a lot of times they see me just eating my meat at work, and you know, if they ask me a question, they better get ready because I'm gonna talk about it.
It's just like opening the floodgates, right?
Yes, it's like
Oh.
okay, okay, I need to quit. I need to quit.
So, I mean, that's a good point. What is your eating like day to day?
On a regular basis, when I'm just going to work and back every day, I take my lunch with me every day. I'll get to work at 6:30. I won't eat until about 12. But I try to get in as much walking as I can in the morning, like I say, and then at lunchtime I'll do some walking, and then when I get home, I'll eat, and then sometimes I'll get on my rebounder, do some weights, stuff like that. Um, and then on the weekends, that's when I do a lot of cooking. I try to cook as much as I can to prepare for the week because that's another thing about this diet. You have to be prepared. If you don't have the meat in your freezer or in your refrigerator, I try to keep my freezer stocked, my refrigerator, stocked, and I think about every day. Okay, what am I going to cook? Um, to I try to have enough for a couple of days for sure. Yeah. But now with the air fryer invention, I mean, it's pretty easy. You can put something in there. But as far as steaks, I like grilling steaks. I don't like to cook in the air fryer. Not a steak, but chicken. I'll cook some chicken and stuff like that. But I'm kind of like Laura Spath, where she has like her steak and then she'll have a chicken wing for like a side. she calls it, so I like that idea. I like to have a variety. So if I have a piece of meat, then I may have like a chicken wing or some bacon, or if a hamburger patty, I'll put a fried egg on it. I try to have a variety of things, but it's always good to have bacon, with you. Just so if you get that little snacky, um, that snack that's just something that's pulling at you, then you can just eat the bacon instead of anything else, and it'll
Right.
take the craving away.
Yeah. So you're eating lunchtime only, or you're
No,
also
I
eating
eat
at dinner?
I eat two times. My lunch is pretty big. I eat a pretty big lunch, and sometimes I'm not that hungry for dinner, but I'll make myself eat because I know I need the protein and the fat, you know. And then sometimes on the weekend I'll eat three times. I mean, after a while you really your body tells you I'm hungry. And if I ever feel that, I eat. I'll just eat. So,
It's so nice to be in that situation, right? And you don't
oh,
have to worry about counting
yeah.
anything, and
Oh
it's
my
like,
goodness, so
"Oh,
nice.
do I feel guilt? I'm hungry, but I feel guilty if I eat this." You don't have to worry
Yes.
about that, right?
No, I love it. I love it. And I love the cues that I get from my body. Like, "Oh, you're hungry. Okay, I'm gonna eat now." It's no big deal. And then you see the weight coming off when you're eating. It's amazing.
So you talked about, you've got a dog. You talked about Bella before. Is Bella eating carnivore?
I try to feed her. I've been researching how to feed her, you know. So she eats a lot of chicken. I've bought some gizzards because they said that's good for her. She loves steak, you know. So I do. I'm trying to switch her over all the way. Um, and she's loving it. She's loving it.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, y yeah, so have you had anyone talk to you and go, "I'll give it a try"?
Yes, I have. I have a friend whose husband he reached out to me, and he said, I really want to try this." He said, "What do I do?" And I said, "Well, just start eliminating." 'Cause I know he's a sweet eater. I said, "Just you have to change your routine. If you eat ice cream every night, then you need to start changing that habit." And he did. He started eliminating that part of his life, and now he is thriving. I mean, he's seeing muscles in his stomach. He's been working out, but he never saw the muscles in his stomach, but now he sees the muscles. And he quit drinking, which was a big deal for his wife. So yeah, he is thriving. He's doing very well. Yes.
It's interesting you talk about, like, the ice cream thing, 'cause I feel like in many cases, the habits of like every day I have ice cream at this time in this
Hmm.
place, watching this show or doing this particular activity, it's like the habit of that is a stronger thing than the kind of the physical need to eat something.
Yes. It's
Mm.
it's just your body is telling you, "Hey, we normally eat this at this time, so go get it." You know, and I learned about that when I was fasting, because if I was eating a snack at 10 o'clock in the morning, when I started fasting, I that's when I would start getting that tug. And I would think, why am I feeling the need to eat right now? And maybe it was because I was eating that way in the past, and I would just keep fasting through it, and then eventually your body tells you, no, you don't need that anymore.
3 years in or on your 3rd year,
Yep.
you're like committed to this. It's carnivore
Forever.
for life.
forever, forever. Let me tell you, I I have no desire. I really don't. I don't have any desire to go back because I do not feel well when I do eat lettuce. Even I mean lettuce. You know, well, I thought for years a grilled chicken salad was the way to go. No, I can't even eat that. I don't have any desire to eat that. There's nothing, there's no nutrients in it. It doesn't do anything for me. So there's such a big difference when you eat meat and eggs and bacon and all that good stuff. You feel your body just like, oh, yes, yes, you're giving me what I need. It's like your body's talking to you. You're getting the nutrients that you need so you don't have the cravings anymore. I mean, I used to love chips. I mean, now I ate a chip not too long ago just to see, like, I think it was a sour cream and onion or a barbecue chip. Ooh, all I tasted was the chemicals. It was weird. It was so weird. I'm like, ooh, this, I can't believe I ate this. Mm-mm.
Your senses get heightened, right? I feel that, like, with
Yes.
smell as well. Like, if I walk
Yes.
past a bakery, it's no longer this smell of nice, warm, crispy bread. It's
Mhm.
like this
Oh,
kind of pungent, sweet smell now. It's
it
weird.
is. It's so weird. I mean, it's just all I can taste now are the chemicals, you know. So I definitely don't want to go back to that. So
Yeah.
my highest weight that I can remember was probably getting into like the 170s. I remember 168 and I might have seen 170. I mean, I was miserable. I would look in my closet and try on clothes and I couldn't fit in anything. And I was so miserable. And now I'm 135. So, yeah. And I'm 60. I keep saying I'm 60, but it's amazing because a lot of women, they just say, "Oh, well, I'm getting older, so I'm going to hurt or I'm going to have this ache and this pain and oh, my midsection is just going to get big because I'm 60." No, that's not true. And I tell them, "No, that's not true. You're not
So,
eating right. You have to eat right, you know."
yeah, I've got a question for you on that. So, I, I'll be 50 next month. And my parents lived in this kind of or do live in this retirement village, but it's kind
Mhm.
of like a retirement village for when you're getting ready to finish work, not like once you get to
Oh,
retirement age, right?
yeah.
So it's like the entrance requirement is you have to be 50. Right, and my dad used to always joke with me, like, "Oh, well, you're gonna be eligible to move in here soon, blah, blah, blah." And I'd always look at that and go, "But I don't feel like that. I don't
Mm-mm.
feel like I'm at the point where I'm ready to start slowing down or ready to
No.
take the steps into, like, this new part of life or whatever."
Mhm.
Uh, I
Mhm.
imagine you're probably feeling the same having been on 3 years, right?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna live to be at least 100. I mean, I really do. I don't. I mean, I'm strong. I have muscles. You know, another thing that I worried about in the past was the osteo, you know, pina and all that stuff. And that's another thing. That's another reason that I lift the weights because I don't want to have that problem. But I do feel stronger just eating the meat. I do feel stronger. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Hmm.
So, if a friend said to you, "Okay, Patricia, you're looking great. I want to give this a go. How do I do it?" What advice would you give them based on your experience to get started?
Mm. Well, I would say start with an elimination diet. Just, I mean, unless you have my personality, you can go all in. But if you if you start eliminating just even one or two things at a time, I mean, your body will start getting adjusted to not having the sugar or the carbs. And I will tell them it's not a quick fix. I mean, if you're going to a wedding next week, then it's, if this is all you want to do, no, this is a lifestyle. This is not a diet. This is the way everyone should be eating. So let's not make the big food and the big pharma rich anymore. You know, let's think about it. I mean, your health is the most important thing in your life. If you don't have your health, you can't travel. There's a lot of things you can't do if you don't have your health. So think about why you want to do it and then start eliminating the sugars and the carbs and the drinks, those sugary drinks. Those are so bad. And get prepared. Go to the store, get the products that you need, throw away the products you don't need in your house so you won't be tempted, and then start getting your body adapted to running off the ketones instead of the glucose, And even I would say, even if it's really bad, I mean, if you're having you have diabetes or whatever. I mean, I think the glucose testing and all that I think that could help a person who may not have the diabetes right now, but we sometimes my husband and I will prick our finger just to see where we are. And if you're using a test like that to help you stay on track, I think that could be helpful.
Yeah, I think the constant glucose monitor is a really good tool to
Mhm.
like if you really want to see what food does to you.
Exactly.
It, that's
Yes.
nothing better than eating a banana and then seeing your blood sugar and going,
Oh my goodness.
ah.
Yes. Yes. And just remember that what spikes me may not spike you. So you're an experiment on your own body, So you have to test the different foods. Like I didn't know that salad was messing me up so much. I really didn't know. I mean, I would be so bloated, like I just ate a Thanksgiving meal or something. That bloated, and it would take like an hour for me to be okay. And I finally figured it out by not eating it. And then once I ate just a little bit, I said that's it. I'm not eating that anymore. It doesn't do well with my body.
Patricia, is there a way people can reach out to you? Do you have any social media or any way of getting in contact?
I have an email. I may in the future I might start up a YouTube or something like that because I do want to help the Cajuns out there that love to eat because I'm one of them. But you can change the ingredients and still have your food. You know, but my nickname is Tiku, and it's spelled Tecoo, and the rest of my email is Leger. So it's Tiku Leger at gmail.com. If someone wants some advice or they want to talk to me about how to get started, then they can email me.
No worries. Thank you very much. I'll
All
include that in the show notes.
right. Okay.
Um, Patricia, I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your experience. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
Dave. I'll be watching you.